Are you moving to the Niagara region? Thinking of trading in the hustle and bustle and chaos of the GTA for a nice, quaint gem here in the Niagara region? Well, if that happens to be you, you caught the right video, because today we're going to take a deep dive tour of Thorold. I'm going to take you around the town of Thorold here in the Niagara region, show you all of its parts. Here in the nice, quaint little cozy village of Thorold, we'll take you along the canal. We even take you in, give you a slice of history that might even surprise you. And then of course, we'll take you into some neighborhoods, show you what the real estate market is and how that can benefit you as you're looking at making a move. So by the end of today's video, you'll discover that Thorold is not just a stop along the canal, but it might even be the place you want to call home. So come along with me as we make this tour and discover if Thorold is a place you want to move to. I'm Scott White, and along with my wife Ellen, we make up the realtors of the Living in Niagara, Ontario with Ellen and Scott team. Thank you so much for stopping by, and we get calls all the time from people all over the world, and especially from the GTA. People who are looking at scaling down their mortgage, getting out of the hustle and the bustle and the busyness of life in Toronto, saving some money and finding the homes here in the Niagara region to be more affordable. They're making this move. If that happens to be you and you're thinking of doing that in the next 9 days or 9 months or beyond, please do not hesitate to give Ellen and I a call, reach out to us with text, email, or even hit that QR code and set up a Zoom meeting where we can meet with you, talk with you, answer all of your questions, and we'll ask you a whole bunch of questions to help you discover that micro community here in the Niagara region that fits your likings and desires and dreams to a T. It might even be Thorold. If you enjoyed today's video, you find it to be informative, educational, and even entertaining, we would really appreciate it if you hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so that you won't ever miss a video that we put out talking and sharing about life here in the Niagara region and how making it your home might be perfect for you. So let's start here as we tour the cozy little village of Thorold. Thorold is a long-standing member of the Niagara region. It was built in around the 1800s. And as you can see with the architecture, you can see that old feel of homes, of buildings being built in the 1800s. Here in the downtown core, it's a cute and quaint little village area with a lot of fun little shops, restaurants, beauty salons. And look, I didn't realize where I am. Angie OH Antiques, a great little spot. People from all over here, some really cute, vintage, historic things to get to here for antiques, etc. Well-known establishment, gelato and I don't even know how to say this, a pâtissière, biscottis and croissants. Long-standing establishment here, Stedman's Jewelers, been around Thorold since almost its beginning. Oh, I can see that right there in the sign, 1912, Stedman's Jewelers. I'm down here on a Monday morning, and as you can see, we have a lot of cars parked along the roadway here, but a lot of the shops are closed because it's Monday. They do tend to close on Mondays and weekends. The Henderson's drugstore, it too has been around for years, back in the early 1900s, probably for as long as I can remember. So this is the village of Thorold. Front Street is where this street is called, and if you end up living here, this would be a mainstay of location that you're going to come and check out and enjoy. The little shops and stores. There's a Sobeys down the road here for major shopping, and Thorold is nestled in between St. Catharines, which is the largest urban center in the Niagara region, so it's really close to all the amenities of the city of St. Catharines if you're looking for that. It's also bordered along the east side with Niagara Falls. Niagara Falls, of course, you know, is familiar for Niagara Falls, of course, and casinos, nightlife, great restaurants. So if you're into that kind of scene, Thorold puts you really close to that as well. It also borders Pelham and Welland for some other areas to the west and south side of Thorold. But Thorold itself is a variety of residential locations. You have rural settings out in the country. Some orchards and vineyards are here in Thorold. Then you have city life and suburbs of St. Catharines, and of course, this village of Thorold here. So that's the making of Thorold and the areas of Thorold. And so one of the beautiful things about it, as I said, is that you can live here and have that small town vibe and feeling if you want that quietness, but you're so close to St. Catharines and Niagara Falls, you can have all those amenities and attractions as well. So if you want that busy life, you're really close to that, but you can live in the peace and the quiet of more of a rural setting here in Thorold. So let's leave the village here and go over to another really important aspect of life here in Thorold, and that's the Welland Canal. Wow, that's great timing. Here we are at Lock 7. This is a viewing area right here in Thorold for people who want to come and check out the ships as they go through the canal. The Welland Canal is a significant factor here in the Niagara region, especially St. Catharines, Thorold, Welland, and Port Colborne, as the canal brings ships all the way from Lake Erie to Lake Ontario through these cities. And here we are at Lock number 7, which is a very unique engineering marvel, because at this particular lock, they allow 2 ships to go through at the same time. One ship can go up, one ship can go down, displacing the water between the two. And that is a very unique feature of this canal at this particular point. And as you can see, if you're lucky enough to find a house right along this section, you can sit here on your back porch or out your back window and view the ships going through. I never tire of watching these magnificent beasts of marine faring vessels traveling through the canal or seeing them on the open water. So I did want to stop by and share this little gem, if I can call it that way, although it isn't today's local gem. I did want to share with you this spot here right in Thorold where you can come and watch the ships, because as I said, it is a very important role here in the economy and the life of Thorold and all of the Niagara region. So here I am in a very typical neighborhood here in Thorold, right along the edge of St. Catharines. So you may not necessarily know when Thorold starts and St. Catharines ends, which means you can use and enjoy all the amenities of the urban center of St. Catharines close by to where you're living, if you're living in this exact neighborhood in Thorold. There are actually over 30 homes for sale in this exact neighborhood that I'm touring right now, but there's just 2 here that are very typical homes here in Thorold that I thought I'd stop and take a look at here. The first one is right here behind me, and it is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home, about 1,100 square feet. It is very nicely decorated inside. As you can see, actually they have some drywall out front. They're doing some renovations right now. It is brightly painted, it's airy, it's fresh looking. The kitchen is a little bit dated, but they have a beautiful island that they put inside of it. So it is a quite nice home, a very move-in ready house. And then we have another house right across the street from it. This one right here, which is actually a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home. It is about 1,100 square feet of living space. And both houses have a property size of 35 by 139 square feet. Now this house here is aged and it is dated. It needs a little bit of loving care and updating. It's got some really bizarre colors, neon green and purple walls. So this one needs a little bit more work than the other house, but they are very typical, as I said before, of homes that are for sale here in Thorold. One is going for $564,000 and the other one is going for $599,000. The typical home here in November, the median price in Thorold is $590,000. That's lower than it was in October at $604,000. And sadly enough, that is less than what the average price of homes in all of 2025 is, which is $624,000, 400 and some change. So house prices have been coming down throughout 2025 as they were from 24, 23, 22, all the way since 2021. However, house prices today are still 37% higher than they were in 2020. What does all those stats and numbers mean going up and down in prices? Well, we'll talk more about that when I sit down and introduce you to today's local gem. So you're gonna wanna stick around for sure to the end to find out what all these numbers mean, especially if you're thinking of making a move here to Thorold or anywhere here in the Niagara region. As for now, I wanna introduce you to another little micro neighborhood here in Thorold, a brand new home. So you can get an idea of what you can get here in Thorold if you're looking for a new build or a newer build within the past 5 years or so. So let's check out that neighborhood. So here we are in this newer subdivision area in Thorold. Wanted to show you what these houses can go for. This is a more upscale neighborhood as well, but as you can see, not very many trees. This neighborhood is only a year or two old. Most of the homes have been built in 2024. Some are still being built, some in 2023, and they are ranging in and above the $1 million mark. There are homes here for $1.2 million, $1.1 million. We have this house here, right here beside me, and it is a 4-bedroom, 2-bath home on a 40 by 100 foot lot. It is 1,800 square feet on the main level, 1,500 square feet of finished living space on the basement. It is a brand new build in 2024, so everything is a custom built bungalow, high-end finishes, and they are asking only $999,000. But as I said, that is about the average price of homes in this neighborhood going for. There's another one down the street for $869,000. So from $869,000 to $1.2 million is what you can find for homes here in this particular neighborhood in Thorold. There's actually some townhouses in this neighborhood here as well, right there behind me right now, but there's none on the market right now, so we can't give you prices for that. But normally they'd be running in around the $800,000, $900,000 mark as well. So let's leave this neighborhood. The next neighborhood is some rural properties, because as I said, Thorold is not just about city life. It is more of a rural, small town feel. So as you get out of these neighborhoods, you can find some properties with a lot of acreage for a reasonable amount of money. So let's go take a little tour of the countryside and what you can see out there. And as we head out there, I'm going to stop by and show you my old family homestead, the DeCew home. And of course, there's always country properties to look for. Finding houses out here in the country can be a challenge. There are plenty out here for sale, but finding them for sale are all over the place. But I thought I'd take you on a little drive in the countryside to show you what you can get here in Thorold if you're looking for space. All these properties come with acreages. You can get lucky here in Thorold and maybe find a house in the $700,000-800,000 range, but most of the homes out here are farms or come with a lot of acreage and property. 2, 4, 5, 10, even more acreage. And you can get homes out here for usually around $900,000 to $1 million, even up to $4 or $5 million, depending on how big of a house and if it's an active farm like an orchard, vineyards, going well over $2 million. So that is countryside living here in Thorold. If you're looking for space, if you're looking for really peace and quiet country living, but living close to the city and village of Thorold, St. Catharines, etc., and having all those amenities, Thorold may be just the place for you. Taking a little break from our neighborhood tours, traveling out here in the country, I end up here at the DeCew house, a historic location with great history behind it. I told you at the beginning of the video that I would give you a little slice of history. Well, this is some slice of history. If you have ever heard of Laura Secord, Lieutenant General James McGibbons, and Captain John DeCew, well, this is Captain John DeCew's home. This is where Laura Secord came from this direction here, climbed up the escarpment from her house down in Niagara on the lake, traveled through the bush with Native Indians assisting her, came here to tell Lieutenant General James McGibbons of the plans that the Americans had for attacking Beaver Dam. It was because of that intel that she brought, we won that battle quite extensively, if you ask me, that we took over 500 American prisoners from that battle. A terrible defeat to the Americans, which was a contributing factor to us defending our border and giving zero space or land to the Americans. The reason why I wanted to stop by here is because there's also some sentimental value to me, because Captain John DeCew was actually my great-great-great-grandfather. So, in a way, if he hadn't fallen on bad times in the mid-1800s and he was able to keep this house, this 2-story stone home may have been mine right now, and you may have been in my country property. But as it was, he had to sell it, and it actually had a couple of fires, I believe. He built it in the 1810, 1812s. And here's a picture of it. I'm not sure who the person is standing in there. I always like to believe and think it's my great-great-great-grandfather, John DeCew. But that's some of the history that I have here, my family has here. And I just wanted to share that with you because there's all kinds of that kind of history all throughout the Niagara region and in Thorold. Beaver Dam is right in Thorold, and that battle was fought right here. So if you like history, you like learning about that kind of stuff, you gotta come out here. You gotta check it out. And you might even be able to walk along the trail and go from here to Laura Secord's house or vice versa and see what kind of bush she really traveled through. So there's nothing else left to do except, of course, introduce you to today's local gem. So let's jump into my truck, head on over to back downtown, and I'll introduce you to a cafe well worth the stop by here in Thorold. So here I am back in the village of Thorold to close off today's video here at Blossom's Bakery. A really cute bakery here, great place to get coffee, tea, baked goods in the old established fire hall. The building itself is worth checking out, but the food and the service inside is also. I'm trying to think of a pun I can make with a fire hall, but I can't think of anything right now. But hey, their service is fireman worthy. That doesn't work. But come on, let's go inside and check out what we can get here at the Blossom Bakery in the old fire hall at Thorold. All right, so let me introduce you to the owners of this great place.
Hi.
Blossom Bakery. This is, I don't know.
Yeah, my name is Sunshine.
My name's Emmy.
Sunshine and Emmy, what a great name. And you guys have been just opened up, have you not?
Yeah, we've been open for 4 months, and it's Hazel Market, ex Blossom Bakery in Thorold.
And you have vintage clothing. I showed them some of that.
We've got vintage clothing, we have really good baking, we do fun drinks, coffees, teas, matchas. We've also got like art prints, records,
Yeah.
a bunch of cool stuff.
Now, I can't remember what I ordered. It was your new croissant. It's a Mont Blanc?
Yes.
Okay.
That's our new croissant flavor. It's a Mont Blanc, so it's creme de marron and a chantilly cream. It's really, really good.
You're going to watch me taste it in a few seconds, and I'm sure I'm going to tell you, it's really good.
Yeah, I hope you like it.
Ladies, thank you very much for
Of
letting me come
course,
into your
yeah.
shop, do a little bit of videoing, and hey, you know what I'm going to say at the end? I'm going to say it now. If you find yourself in Thorold, you've got to come to Blossom Bakery and Hazel Market here at the Firehouse in the village of Thorold. Well, here I am, gonna try my golden milk latte and my Mont Blanc croissant. Their new recipe, you just heard the ladies talk about it. Show you what it looks like inside. Oh, that looks delicious. Let me give it a bite. Mm-hmm. As I said, delicious. And now for my golden milk latte. Oh, that's nice. Little chai flavor. You know I like my chai. As I said before, if you find yourself here in Thorold, you've got to stop off here and try their lovely bakeries. And I even got us a little treat, vegan, gluten-free cherry blueberry pie. Hopefully it tastes as good as everything else. I'm not a real big fan of gluten-free stuff, but my wife is moving that way, so I thought I'd get that for her. And vegan. So hope you enjoyed the tour. You got to see a lot of Thorold. Hope you got a good feel of what it's like to live here. There's the Canal, the DeCew house, some country lifestyle living, real estate market. As I said before, we're seeing the prices have come down quite a bit over the past 4 years. Prices still were coming down here in 2025. The current prices, average home sales here in Thorold is $590,000, which is about $30,000 less than what the actual yearly average is. We saw the prices go up in the spring to about a maximum of $645,000 in around June. Then the prices started coming back down. What does that say? That says that it is balancing itself out. The number of sales have also been coming down. We're seeing the sale price is about 5% less than list price, which tells us that sellers are still pricing their house compared to last month or last year. They haven't really reached what buyers are willing to purchase their houses for. Tells us that buyers are having a lot more negotiating power because there's fewer houses on the market. Prices are coming down. They're staying on the market longer. So it really gives us a good feel that this is a really good time to be buying here in Thorold. There is a hope and expectation that we're going to see market prices, interest rates coming down in the new year as well, which is going to help offset some of that angst and anxiety that we have in the market. Springtime market is most likely going to see an uptake. So right now there's all the pent up anxiety in the market. There's a lot of people who are watching the market. There's still a house shortage. And so come springtime, this winter months is going to be tough and lean for selling a house. If you're not selling the house in Thorold, probably not the best time to be doing that. But if you're looking at buying the house right now, this is a great time to be looking at purchasing the house anywhere in the Niagara region, but even specifically here in Thorold. So as I said before, if you're making that move here to Thorold or the Niagara region, this may be the great time to be doing that in the winter months to buy that house. Please reach out to Ellen and myself. Give us a call, send us a text, shoot us an email. We will help you make this move smooth and stress-free. Thanks so much for stopping by and watching today's video. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.